Well, hello people, or should I say good eye mates. This is Tom from Cosplay, or right now, Captain Boomerang. This is my first video on this channel, completely revamped totally for cosplay and anything related to it. So I want to make this first video to show off and make something of a tutorial about my, well, best cosplay, Captain Boomerang from Suicide Squad. Now, this cosplay I've grown quite fond of. It's actually, I consider it my first cosplay. Well, officially it's my second cosplay, but I do consider it my third, mostly because, well, it was the only first one I actually really improved upon. Now, in this tutorial I can't really do it like I'm gonna make it, because it's all been done, it's all made, but I can show you how my cosplay looks, what I used along with some help I got, because I got my parents' help. Everything that I had, so you can make also a Captain Boomerang cosplay if you want to. Because when it comes to Suicide Squad, Harley is the big thing right now, and maybe some touch on Joker. But I feel like this Australian scumbag, who I've grown quite fond of, also needs a little bit of appreciation. And luckily there are enough people out there who still want to cosplay him, so of course I thought let me help him out by showing my version of it. First, I want to say a few things. It doesn't matter if this cosplay is either bought or handmade, because honestly some people have the ability to make things out of themselves, some don't, and other people just don't have the money for it. And that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money for it to make it yourself or to buy it. It's all about having fun. It's all about making your creativity rise, which is something I love about cosplay. The ability to make creativity do all of this. It's a great and wonderful thing that I love, and I love seeing it every single day. So, this is the cosplay that I have. It's partly bought and partly mostly improved and self-made. I'm going to show you all things. I'm going to show you the most important things, the small details, the optional things, how I improved upon what I already have, what I used. Keep in mind, with this cosplay I've grown really detailed on almost everything, so you need to keep that in mind, that you don't really have to do everything that I tell you to. Only the few things, which will be the first things I mention, are the most important things actually when it comes to making this Captain Boomerang cosplay. And here to help me is my lovely assistant, Mr. Pinksy. Yes, I know he's called Pinky in the movie, I call him Mr. Pinksy, deal with it. And yes he's going to help me show off all this cosplay, won't you, Mr. Pinksy? He's adorable. So anyway, creepy pink unicorn fetishes aside, let's go into the cosplay. Let's go, mates. Alright, mates. So let's start with the tutorial. Keep in mind, I've never really done this before, so this is my first time and I'm kind of nervous and I don't know all English pronouns that well, so bear with me, okay? Okay, first we're going to go into big items that you absolutely need in order to make this cosplay happen. And the sheet with all what I've written down is there, so I can look over it if I can read it properly. So keep that in mind, I'm doing it that way. It's my first time, bear with me guys, thank you. So first, the main things that you need. This, the leather jacket, the trench coat, the track jacket, blue. You need the beanie. You need of course the boomerangs, of course, no problem, very easy. Sleeve bracer, glove for the left hand, gold change, and holsters, but those are fairly optional. So to go into detail about certain things you can do. For example, the trench coat. My trench coat wasn't found this way. This is fake sheepskin that my mother attached to it. Thank you, Mom, you're amazing. To this, to the trench coat himself. We bought a trench coat at a place called Marktplaats. Keep in mind, I'm Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands. That's the place we used. It's got for $35, but the actual jacket is really about $200, and I wasn't going to spend that much money on it for obvious reasons, because I'm not filthy fucking rich. So this is the best thing you gotta do. But if you have a trench coat that's this long, what you need to make sure of is that the trench coat goes to at least to your knees. It needs to be sure to make it to your knees. Of course, I'm not really that tall. I'm fairly small compared to others. So if you're longer, you need to rectify the really big. So if you're kind of like my height, then you need to get it at least to your knees. That's the best option. That's just how it needs to be. And you can use fake sheepskin attached, or if you're lucky enough to find a trench coat with fur lining in here, then you need to take that one. Otherwise, attach it to here, to the sides, and to the cap here. Okay, even more small details that you need to add. Just boomerangs here on the side, you can make it yourself, it's very simple, everyone can get that. Now, the blue track jacket. The words Captain are spelled on it. I bought this blue track jacket at a sporting goods store not far from where I live. It was 25 euros or so. Well, you can find one online that's really, really good. Unfortunately, I can't because I already got this one. But I painted the letters out of a different cloth that I have and put them on it myself. So you can do that just with all kinds of, with that glue that you can use to paint other type of material onto clothing. It really works well. The letters have grown. I've just recently painted them, so to get them more accents for the character. And it's really good, so it's fairly easy to do. Just I hope that your cutting out letter skills is much better than mine. Okay, other details, of course, the beanie, you just need to have that, no questions asked. The glove I got from AliExpress, great site. I really buy most of my materials from AliExpress because it's just that good. And the sleeve bracer I also got from that. This is not the exact sleeve bracer from the movie, but remember this, accuracy doesn't always matter, because if you can't do something or can't get something, it's not a bad thing. It's not something to get worked up about. Sometimes you just can't do everything because either lack of funds or lack of materials, or it's. I always say this when it comes to cosplaying: if you're happy with the result, then that's it. It doesn't necessarily have to be 100% accurate, but if that makes you happy, then go for it. But I couldn't find the right one anywhere, but my dad found this one, and it's pretty good, so I'm not really complaining. Now on to holsters. Just got this one literally like 2 hours ago. It still needs to get used to. It's so good to keep your boomerangs here, but it's really an optional choice. You don't really need to wear it. Before I had this, I never wore it, but I decided to go full detail, so that's of course no problem. Boots. I got these types of boots. You can't really see them that well, but they're basically a big army boots. They really need to get along, because one thing that I actually do is I keep a sheathed fake knife in the pocket of this shoe, because Captain Boomerang has it too. Here. Maybe this will work better, I'm not sure. Big boots. Cost me about 50 bucks at a dump store for army stuff. It's really army boots. In my country we call them legerkisten. I'm not sure how you call it in your country, but if you find certain boots like that, just use them. Wrap them in duct tape, preferably silver. I don't have silver, but preferably silver, and put something like a small boomerang or a sheath knife there in the middle, and you should be totally fine. Then, gold chains. Simple as that. You just need to have some gold chains. These are, funny enough, pimp chains, but they're not that wonderful, but they work. But they can get heavy on the neck, so keep that in mind. You don't necessarily need ones like mine, but it's all up to preference. Okay, one of the most important things that you need is, of course, your pink little friend. Of course, I got mine off AliExpress as well. I really recommend AliExpress for most of your needs, because they deliver always well, they deliver always good. I've only been disappointed in them one time, and that was for a non-cosplay related purchase. But Mr. Pinksy, as mine is called, get them. Of course, you need your pink little friend. Of course, he keeps you warm and sweet on the very lonely nights, or the times at the con where you're sitting alone and you just need to talk to a friend. You have for your pinky unicorn. It's just, once again, it's also an optional thing, but I feel it's completely necessary for every Captain Boomerang cosplayer, especially from Suicide Squad, to have a pink unicorn. Name it whatever you want. Pinky. I call mine Mr. Pinky because I like it generally more. Okay, creepy pink unicorn fetishes aside, once again. Of course, you need your boomerangs, of course, otherwise you won't know who the hell the person is. How I made my boomerangs. This is the base of the boomerang. I applied them with my dad. I applied them on wood, painted the shape out of it, cut it out, spray painted it, and tape on it. Done. It's very simple. I put them in the extra holster that I have here around my belt. Simple enough. You need boomerangs, absolutely necessary. I don't care what you say or what your idea of a boomerang throwing villain is, but you need the boomerangs absolutely. You can make them out of wood. Wood is the best material. The good thing is boomerangs don't necessarily fall under weapon law, so you can take them to a gun without getting in any dispute about fake guns or anything. I will warn them to don't throw with them, because, well, I don't really need to say that. So keep just that in mind, please. No throwing. And of course, for the meals and such all around, many chops if you can grow them. Yes, you can always use fake beards, but I find that my beard grows really fast, so I don't necessarily need to rely on fake beards. So this is really what I got. So please keep in mind, just use this. And for girls, there's always a way to fake beards, but I'm not really sure how that works. So honestly, but maybe I'll make a video about that later on if you would want me to. But these are really the big things that you need for a Captain Boomerang cosplay. Okay, time to order for the small details. We only have 2, so then we'll take small. Pinky ring. You don't really need it. It's really, both these choices are optional, honestly, because you don't really see them. I just go all out. I don't have an exact one, but maybe I'll modify it with something if I find something credible. But that's for later. And a gold teeth. Mine, I don't really have mine in right now because it's a really dull process, and he keeps falling out of the teeth that he's supposed to stay on. I got a lot of trouble and a lot of frustration over that, so let's keep that to the side for a while. That's really just the thing that really works. Gold teeth and pinky ring optional. You don't really need to do them, but they're just for fun and access. You don't really need them, honestly, and tooth can be a bit of an inconvenience, but it depends on what you want. If you want, like me, you go all out for this cosplay, then you should really try it, and if not, then it's not a big deal, and it's not the worst thing in the world. So, next thing, a bit of makeup. What do you need to get that rough edges around the clock look? The best thing you can do for the likes of Captain Boomerang is what I do. I apply charcoal to my face. Yeah, fresh out of the big furnace from my mom's home. It works really well. Just be careful with it, because if it's still in bricks, it's really painful to do. Just crush them in your hand. If you have blocks of charcoal in your hand, crush them in your hand and apply them to your face, to one side of the face. Preferably the one that's most dirty, actually. And for the cuts, I just use general red face paint because I don't really have another option at this point. That's the best one. Tomorrow is a con that I will absolutely try it out, but you will hear from that in the video of there. So that's generally makeup. Charcoal is the best option. So just crush it in your hand and apply it to your face with your fingers. Then watch your fingers really good. Just a reminder, after it's come off, it can sting a bit, so use at your own risk. So for a bit of the extra part that we're going to do, I'm going to tell you about all the links what I'm going to do, and the things how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put all the links down in the description. I have the links to my Facebook page and the Facebook page of my Suicide Squad cosplay group, known as the Dutch Suicide Squad. I recommend you check it out. We are amazing, and that's not a biased opinion. We've done really great, honestly, and I can't be more proud of everything that we've done. So I advise you to check on that. Secondly, I will leave links to the pages of fan jackets, where I will have the trench coat and the track jacket. They're expensive, but if you can afford it and you want to do it that way, then you can do it that way. I'll leave those in the description down below. And for any additional details, you can always ask me in the comments on how I did, because I could be a little unclear in this video, but really, it's really my first video, so you can't really blame me. But all things will get better. I want you to think, what would you like to see more of this Captain Boomerang cosplay, or generally on this channel? Because it's a new channel, I'm going to do more cosplay reviews, convention reviews. I'm in the Netherlands, and if you need any sources, just ask in the description down below. No problem. I will give maybe links to some other channels from other cosplay fans that are here, so you can always check it out if you wish. Definitely there are a few big ones, and a few of my friends that I would really like to show you. But first, what do you think of this video? What do you think of how I explained everything? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really curious and I want to know how I can improve a lot. So I want to thank you all for watching. Tomorrow's a con, I'm super excited for it. Going to be as Captain Boomerang for probably around the third time this year already. And time flies. So I'm really happy I can do that. I will have an after-con review of how it was, what I did, what I bought, this and that and so. Thank you all for watching. Good eye mites. And have a very fun, well, evening in this case. Come, Mr. Pinksie. We need to get ready.